Hello, 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 assalamu alaikum. Good morning, khush amdeed, ji aya nu, goeiemorgen.
Bakhair agale, ni hao, tuna shumme, washmale, ohio, gezaimis, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, halashuma chatore, alan wasalan marhaba, buna, mucho gracias, swabi up, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning, alongside the very amazing, the very pretty, the very beautiful, the very intelligent, Shizza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shizza, how are you today?
I'm absolutely great. Thank you so much for these words. But you know, Shahzad, whenever you're going sort of overboard with the compliments, I'm sort of sure you're going to say Shahzad Khan because you often do that. But other than that, thank you so much for these kind
No
words early in
problem.
the morning. Especially when we were both late to the show. I feel like we didn't catch sort of the vibe that we usually do. But to start with, why were you late?
All right, so for me, it's a very different story and it's
Okay.
a unique one. It does not really happen to me across the year, but yeah, it was different because of the fact, alhamdulillah, that we're a big family. We do not really have a concept of family planning over here in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, and neither did my parents. So what they did was that eventually when they got married, they never planned how many babies they're going to have.
Yeah,
So
but they were the baby
alhamdulillah,
boomers generation, so
yeah,
what can
but
you expect?
yeah, I mean, I wanted to comment on that, but it's perfectly all right. So yeah, they ended up having 7 kids,
Mashallah.
me being one of them, and then those kids getting married again and being baby boomers was a different thing. And then they deciding to come over to our place and just stay because it's summer vacations. So alhamdulillah, I've got a total of 35 kids at my place these
Wow,
days as
mashallah,
well.
mashallah.
I know the house is big enough, but still the kids do not really want to sleep and the cousins meet
Of
up. You know, they've got so
course.
many stories to share and whatnot. So eventually, yeah, I couldn't sleep because everybody kind of came in at 2 in the night and
Yeah.
they were like, oh, we want to order pizzas.
Oh.
Imagine how many pizzas can you order for 33 or 35 kids?
Wow, I don't know,
Yeah,
15 to 20 people.
yeah, and you know, our kids are mashallah able to have one pizza on their own. So yeah,
Wow,
it's quite a lot of
mashallah.
pizza. It can cost you a fortune, but yeah, it's fun at the same
It's
time.
fun,
And then
yes.
obviously you cannot come up with this excuse. So yeah, so what I did was I stood up a majority of the night, and then for the last 2 hours I slept. I was like, this is enough, and I gotta go to work too as well, so that I can feed you pizza next time.
So
But what
here's the
about
thing.
you?
Yeah, so here's the thing. First of all, I'm proud of you that you did finally make it to work.
Thank you.
Yay. But Shazad, you know, when we were young, or, you know, we were kids like
Yeah.
your
I
nieces
think
and
I'm still
nephews
young
are.
though, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But, you know, that is what we were. I mean, we always wanted to stay up late because
Yeah.
that were the only chance. I mean, especially in summer vacations.
Exactly.
And our parents and our, you know, aunts and uncles would be sort of annoyed with us because they'd be like, stop playing, go to sleep. I feel like that is what we are now. We have
Yeah.
shifted roles, haven't we?
Yeah, no, we haven't really done that because I think that, you know, our parents were more aggressive towards us as
Okay.
kids. And, you know, the way we are, or the way we have actually grown up, what we have realized is that, you know, for whatever harsh words my parents have said to me, I'm not going to say it to my daughters.
That's a
at
good
least, you
thing.
know.
That's a lesson you learned.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I do not really say anything to them, but then there needs to be discipline in life, especially
Yeah.
when there are people who actually needs to go to work. They really need to have this soft corner for them that, you know,
Oh,
okay, they'll
true.
be working. It's not their summer vacation because I do get jealous a lot of time.
Yeah?
And I'm like, where are our summer vacations?
Oh,
You know,
we
why
have
do we
no
have
summer
to work
vacations.
like every single day? But I think that this is how it is. But
Alhamdulillah, though.
fortunately, your family recently
Oh,
moved to
yes.
Multan, but now they're back to see you here again.
Oh, yeah, they're here for a week or so to like spend time
How is
together.
it?
It's fun, but the same thing happened to me yesterday as well. So everyone was awake like till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
in the night. And I
Yep.
was like, dude, I have to wake by 6:30. And someone here needs to be considerate, and that someone is all of you. But no one was really considerate. It's all fun and games until it's 3 a.m.
Exactly, that's great. And I think that, you know, my wife actually did a great job.
Yeah.
And what she did was that every other day, you know, she'll make all of those kids sit down
Okay.
and talk about other countries and, you know,
Oh,
ask about
wow.
capitals and whatnot. So if I'm going to ask you which country would you want to visit, what's the name of the country?
So, okay. Yes, I've been to Europe, but this is one of the countries in Europe that I've visited when I was like so young, I don't even remember how it was.
Really?
I've heard so much about it. This is one of the countries that Pakistan is so close to in terms of bilateral relations. Stop laughing, okay? I'm building up here.
There's one thing which I wanted to say, but yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. Should I ask you first, though?
Yeah, go ahead. You
Okay,
can
yeah.
ask me.
What's the country that you want to
Okay,
visit?
so I've been to a lot of countries, you know, all over the globe as well, but particularly in Europe, I actually wanted to go to Germany.
I was going to say.
Really? Well, that's great. You know,
Yes.
thank you very much for saying that. And one reason for that is that, you know, recently, 4
Yeah.
months ago, I think I was in England. So one of my friends flew from Germany to England, and he was like that, you need to come down. So this is one reason.
Right.
The second and the foremost and the best reason for me is to be on the Autobahn, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a car fanatic. I love German cars anyways as well. And I just want to be there. And Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal has actually said quite a lot of good words about Germany too.
Yes.
Germany, ladies and gentlemen, by 2010 had an estimated population of 83 million in 9 years. I don't know whether they had baby boomers or not. But yeah, there'll be an increase as well.
Okay.
And talking about Pakistan and Germany, ladies and gentlemen, recently a news came in as well where Germany is actually going to come down to Pakistan, and there's one of the very amazing brands for cars, ladies and gentlemen. It's Volkswagen. It's coming down to
Volkswagen in
Pakistan.
Dutch, yes.
Volkswagen. Yeah. It's a little difficult for me, but it's great. And I think that it's a good omen for people who've actually been importing cars in Pakistan. And finally having a unit of such sort with German cars.
Manufacturing over here in Pakistan.
German cars are just like diamonds to women. So, so this is how I can explain that.
All right, I do totally understand your sentiment. But other than that, with Germany, Shahzad, I'm pretty sure you do have a lot of friends as well and family who travel to Germany or live there to study. I mean, they're receiving a lot of amazing degrees, be it technology, be it, humanities and whatnot, and then they're finding some great jobs over there. Yes, they're contributing towards the brain drain, but that's another story. We're not going to talk about that. But, it's absolutely amazing that Germany itself is offering so many opportunities to Pakistanis and other people around the world as well. Also, 75% of Pakistan's exports go to the EU, of course, Germany being one of the, from the bloc. And they include leather stuff and textile and sport goods and whatnot. So, if we didn't give it away already, we are talking about Germany today.
Yeah, and we're talking about our relations, ladies and gentlemen.
Bilateral
cultural similarities, people who've actually been to Germany, how was it? Because there's this one difficulty only, and that is that, if you go to Germany, you actually have to learn German. There's no other way around it.
Oh, the language barrier, you're absolutely right, yes.
Yeah, so how do we do it? I mean, this is something which we really need to ask, and we're very lucky today that we've actually been joined by people who are actually going to let us know how Germany is and what Germans are going to do over here in Pakistan, what kind of cultural developments are going to take place, what kind of economical developments are going to take place, and what kind of bilateral relations do we actually share?
Absolutely.
And what do the nations actually have to exchange with each other? I think this is what it is. And we've got a princess over here in the studio who's actually been to Germany as well. She's learned German, and she's actually going to share her experience as well.
Right, so for anyone, definitely. So for anyone who hasn't been to Germany like us, this is going to be a little cultural tour for all of you. So stay tuned in your seats till 10 a.m.
I just like it, when we actually have somebody over from a country and, we're like, oh, we haven't been to this place. I think it's a call for everybody to understand that we actually want to visit that.
We want to visit. Please sponsor.
Yeah, and both of us being travelers, we want to share our stories as well. So it's going to be cool, though. I mean, if we get to go to Germany together, imagine.
Super cool.
We at Autobahn, probably 300 kilometers per hour, probably you're not going to like it, okay? So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by somebody who's actually the head of press and cultural section from the Germany embassy over here in Islamabad. She's none other than Miss Christine Rosenberg. Hello, how are you?
I'm very fine. Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
It's wonderful to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, alongside Christine, we have been joined by the first secretary for Development Corporation, and she's a youth ambassador herself. She's none other than Miss Marian Fennings. Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, and guten Morgen to you.
Guten Morgen. Thank you very much for joining us. So is it Guten Morgen or Guten Tag? Guten Tag is like good evening?
No, it's good day. So you
Good
can
day.
say that all
okay.
during the day, but since it's very early, now
So
we
Guten
say
Morgen.
guten
Yeah,
Morgen.
okay, that's great. And alongside Ms. Fennings, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who's actually an assistant professor at International Islamic University, Islamabad. He's none other than Dr. Nasir Mahmood, and he's actually going to speak about these different diplomas which they're offering to students who actually intend or have an intention to go to Germany or any other place on this globe. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm fine. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Absolutely
I like
great.
your smile quite a lot. This is the best curve a human body's got. Yeah. All right. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by this little princess who's over here with us. She's going to share her own experiences. And imagine, when
She knows the language, man. I mean,
yeah, she knows the language well, but that's one thing. And imagine if there are two siblings who can actually speak German in Pakistan. That's the best part. She's none other than Miss Mavish Riaz Sumro.
Hi.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
That's it? You don't say anything back?
No, you say Guten Morgen.
So both of
Also
us say
ask
good
us
morning
how we
or
are
good
and
morning,
stuff.
good morning. Yeah, that's great.
Wie geht's dir?
Great.
Oh, well, that's great. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to have you. So let's get started.
Okay.
First of all, let us have a brief, or probably, it's your choice, a detailed explanation of how Germany is, how German people are, and what do we really need to know about them?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a quite vast
Yes.
question because, of course, as you might know, Germany is a federal state. So we have different federal states forming Germany. And of course, every federal state has its kind of own culture as well. And but I think there are some commonalities for all of them. I think well, you have a lot of kind of how to say kind of mentioned opinions about Germans.
Yeah.
So some kind
We'll
of
get to that.
yeah, exactly. So I think some of them are quite based and founded because I guess there's no smoke without a fire. So you have always
right.
something true about it.
Yeah.
So be it German punctuality or maybe also a bit of maybe a bit cooler in temperate, so not very emotional, maybe rationality. And so yeah, these are kind of German. Well, you would say that these kind of characteristics, many German, maybe not all of them, of course.
Right.
You
So
cannot
I think
find-
this is a question that you already mentioned. It's so vast to cover that you can't really put a pen to it that this is what I'm going to talk about. So I'll ask you, since you've been in Pakistan for how long though?
Since October last year.
Okay, that's nice. So you've definitely experienced some culture of Pakistan, right?
Yes,
Do you find any similarities between the two? That's a long shot because it's
Yeah.
two different parts of the world.
That's
but let's
true.
see.
Well, there are quite some differences, of course,
Yeah.
in culture. But for example, I traveled to Sindh, and
Oh.
I was quite amazed about the shrines there and the music being
Yeah.
played there. So I think this love for music might be some similarity between the
Yeah.
cultures, because as you might know, Germany also has a lot of, well, a vast musical tradition,
Okay,
and
okay.
we have some great composers in Germany. We have contemporary music, of course, and so I think that might maybe something similar. Although, of course, the instruments differ a lot, and the
Right.
kind of music differs. But I think this maybe emotional attachment to music.
Right,
That's
and
great.
also I think that also makes sense that music really has no language, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
true.
really understand what was going on in
just need
Sindh,
to
but you
feel
just
it, that's
related
it.
to it,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but moving on to Ms. Finnings over here. So now, since you're the first secretary for all the developmental projects taking place over here in Pakistan, so let's start with a good omen and let us know what kind of developmental projects are taking place over here in
Yeah.
Pakistan.
Yeah, well, Pakistan is a really important partner for us in the development cooperation. Actually, when my ministry was founded in 1961, Pakistan was one of the first countries that we
wow.
partnered with. So we look back on a long cooperation. And at the moment, we focus on 3 sectors. One is sustainable economic development.
Yeah.
One is clean and green energy.
Okay.
And the third one is good governance.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's in a nutshell what we do. And since I'm the youth ambassador, of course, the project that focus on the youth of Pakistan are really close to my
So
heart.
tell us about that.
Well, our biggest engagement is actually in the vocational training sector, because that's also something where in Germany we have a very big expertise.
Yeah.
It's very traditional, like if you talked about German cars, I mean, that's how we also get our excellence, because we have a very well-trained workforce. And so we try to help Pakistan and give advice how we do it in Germany, how we think you can do it even better in Pakistan, and really give more youth here an opportunity.
Exactly,
wow,
and
that's
that's
great.
great as well, and which is why, ladies and gentlemen, majority of the mechanical and electrical imports are actually made from Germany too
Yes,
as well.
right.
And there's this one simple thing which I wanted to ask, and I don't know whether I should be asking this, but yeah, I'm going to ask it. So for you being Germans yourselves, how did you learn English?
Well, we learned English at school.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they are starting a bit earlier. They are already starting from I think, either from the first or from the second grade.
Wow.
Okay.
When I was a student, we started from the 5th grade learning
All right.
English. Yeah, so we continued until the A level, until the 13th grade. So we had some use of school teaching English.
Yeah.
And then, well, some students also decided to go abroad for maybe a semester or two. To an English-speaking country and to spend some time there in the US or in Great Britain. But this is not for everyone. So there might be some students going abroad, but others stay in Germany. So this also depends on the special interest of the student itself, and of course also from the financial resources.
That's great,
Okay,
and
that
it's
makes
good to know
sense.
that there are people who can actually speak English over there too as well.
Absolutely.
And that there are people who represent Germany or in Pakistan who can speak English. I think that's
Yes, absolutely, that's true. But now moving on to you, Dr. Saab and Maruk, you know, of course, mashallah, you have a PhD from Germany.
Yes.
But
great.
right
Dr.
now,
Saab's
we're
shy today. You know, there's this thing about Dr. Saab's smile. He's a little shy.
No, but right now I'm going to focus on both of you as students from Germany because, of course, once you were a student, right? So PTV, ladies and gentlemen, I say it every other day, we love to educate you, we love to inform you. This is why we are here promoting culture of two countries and sort of combining them.
Yeah.
So when you both went to Germany in different times, but of course you were both students, what
So
did you learn?
let's ask about their time first of all. Dr. Saab, what time of the year was it, or which year was it when you went to
I went there in August 2013, and I
2013.
came back in August again 2018.
Wow. What did
okay.
you, what
Last
did you go
year,
there
Just
for? Your
recently?
PhD?
Yes.
Wow.
Was it a PhD?
Yes,
that you
was
did
a
over there?
PhD in linguistics and applied linguistics.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
Wow.
from
And what
University
about
of Leipzig.
Wow. And you did your secondary and primary education from
Yes,
there?
I went there in 2011 and came back in 2017.
Why did
It's
you go
almost
there?
the same time, though.
My parents did their PhD in Germany, so
Wow.
we went with them.
Why don't we have such parents? I mean, my father never even thought about having a PhD. Well, he did his master's when he was 50. I mean, that's
Wow,
great.
that's brilliant, though.
Yeah, that was. And he only did it because of the fact that majority of his kids were actually going to universities and he couldn't understand what GPA was. So, you know, he thought, you know, I'll do a degree myself. I think
so
that was
sweet.
great, yeah.
Okay, so let's start with you, Dr. Saab. The cultural similarities, let's talk about first of all. And then, because you went through the education system over there, what do you think we lack over here and we can learn from them to be at par with the world?
Actually, if we talk about the education, the education similarity between Pakistan and Germany, then of course education in Germany is more better than the other.
We're asking about
aspects,
similarities. Yeah, that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
state channel, just
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
We're asking about similarities.
Yeah, no,
No,
just,
in German universities, actually, you generally get a freedom of research.
Oh,
There
that's
are
great.
no boundaries. The student is always free to choose the topic, but he need to defend it academically. That I want to work on this. The research freedom, and then of course the universities, they offer you the state-of-the-art facilities inside the universities, like the libraries. They are open 24/7. You can visit whenever you want. Like the the experience is completely different on bachelor level and PhD level. The most of the bachelor degrees, you need to learn German language to complete these the degrees if they are not being offered in
Right.
English.
But
in
when you're a
PhD
bachelor, the experience is totally different. When you're married, it's different too as well. Because majority of the people, ladies and gentlemen, over in Pakistan get to do their PhDs when,
After
fortunately, they're married.
Yes,
And so they
yes.
actually have to go with their children, their families, and then they actually have to come back as well. Would you mind letting us know whether was it an HEC program through which you went to Germany, or was it just you?
How did you
probably
find
when
out?
you were
I
applying for PhD?
actually I was looking for a PhD position in Western universities,
Okay.
and then my professor, Dr. Inamullah Ghazi, he supported me, and with his help, I found a position in University of Leipzig with the support of a German professor.
Wow.
So he accepted my proposal. So he agreed that
So
I'm ready to
people are
work on this
helpful over
proposal.
there.
Yes.
One cultural similarity. That's
Yeah,
great.
of course. So yeah, people are ready to help each other actually.
Yes.
Okay, that's great, though, mashallah. What about you, though? I mean, of course, you studied in your very, I don't know, primary grades, let's say.
Yeah.
But of course, there are things that you carried with you till date. What were they, and how different do you feel over here?
Well,
in
in
terms of the
Germany,
education system?
in Germany, like their education system is a lot more active learning. Like the teachers will want you to participate in class. In comparison, in Pakistan, that's not always the case. Like there will be some teachers that will ask you questions, but others actually lecture you. So that's a really great difference. But a similarity is that the teachers are very good over there. They have very good skills. The same as in Pakistan. They explain really well. Also, a lot more what's in Germany is that they really focus on extracurricular activities, which is
Which is so
not
important, though.
Yes, which is not always the case in Pakistan.
I used to plead my teacher for a sports period, ma'am,
Yes.
please, or a library period, but no, we were just
Yes.
writing.
Yeah.
That's what I always wanted when I went to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, so what we've done is that we've this one little segment where
Yeah.
we actually share a picture, and we have labeled it as picture of the day. So you're going to see, take a good look at the picture, and each and every one of you is actually going to let us know what you think about the picture.
Anything that comes to your
so
mind,
we're
right?
going to start with you, but can we please have the picture? All right, let's see.
We haven't even seen it this time.
Yes. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Christine.
This is a great library. I love books, so this is really appealing to me.
Must be a dream for you.
Yes, exactly. So of course, we have a lot of really old and really precious libraries in Germany. For example, in Weimar, we have the Anna Amalia Library, which has really amazing treasures of books, and this is really a great experience to be there. Unfortunately, there was a fire some years ago, but there were a lot of experts from Germany, but also from other European countries who helped to restore these books. So yeah, libraries, I think it's...
This one is from Germany as well, though. Not sure
it's
which
a picture
one.
from the German library as well.
Yeah, I cannot name the city, but it's one of the old libraries
and it looks
in
great.
Germany.
You know, it is a library I would love to go to every single day. Have a cup of coffee, read 2-3 pages, and that's it. Go back home. But you know, the best part is, before anybody else says it, I think I'm going to say it. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows this phrase as well. Readers are leaders, and I think that this is 100% correct. And everybody needs to take out time to read books and develop narratives onto different life-threatening situations, or probably how life can actually get better. What about you, Ms. Fennings?
Yeah, well, I also would say that I love books, so it seems to be a German thing. And when I look at it, what books mean to me, it's also like the first stop of traveling, because like I remember when I was little and I read books, you're like in different worlds. So I think it kind of made me, it actually brought me here today, that I really wanted this international career.
That's just good. Dr. Saab, what about you? Because you've been around books for long.
Yeah, of course. And it is the same that, you know, when I looked at this picture, so I recalled my library in University of Leipzig. You know, in the corner, in the basement, there are the same stairs like this. They are going. So I recall that library at the time I have spent there, you know, many nights there. And of course, the books are best companions, so we should read them and we should keep them.
Well, that's great. So just correct me if I'm wrong, because somebody told me that there's a library in Germany which is named after Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal as well. Is that correct?
No, there is not.
I've heard about a road or
It's actually my hometown. I'm from Heidelberg. And there's a really big street right next to the river, and it's called the Iqbal Street.
Iqbal Ufer. It's called Iqbal Ufer, you know, the street on the bank of the river. It's named after Iqbal. And in German, we call it Iqbal Ufer.
Wow, that is how we value the...
What about you? What do you have to say about books and library?
I love books too, and it really reminds me of reading in Germany. We had a big library in our school, so it reminds me of that. I mean, very big books and like shelves upon shelves.
So probably I'm the only one who's not a fan of reading. Please don't judge me, but on this note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we really need to head out to a very short break, because when we come back, we have so much to talk about. But there's going to be a segment called Mythbusters. So for everyone out there who have heard things about Germans or Germany, like we have, we're going to ask them, and they're going to tell us if it's true or not, yes or no. So stay tuned. Good morning.
Let's do it. Guten Morgen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you're watching World this morning alongside Shizza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. I'm very sorry for that one because we do not really have a glass of water around.
We never do.
Yes, and other than that, ladies and gentlemen, today we're actually trying to get our hands on how it would probably be if we are in Germany, what kind of culture they have, what kind of similarities we have in common, I mean Pakistani nation and the German nation as well,
Yes.
and then what kind of developmental projects are taking place over in Pakistan. So we have pretty much discussed quite a lot of things. But now is the time. Now, Shizza actually wanted to be the naughty one today. She
Yes.
said that we're going to do a bit of myth
I had extra
busting.
coffee, what can I
The
say?
questions are a little harsh, I must tell you, in the first place.
Sorry,
But
though.
never mind. It's myth busting. So either you say
Yes.
yes or no, and then you explain a little as well. I mean, for example, okay, I'm not
No
going to give it away.
examples.
So go ahead, Shizza, you do this.
All right, one each, okay? Because you've all been to Germany and both of you actually can be the better judges over here. So I'm going to ask on behalf of all of you out there, so the blame is not on me.
Yeah.
First of all, Germans do not have a good sense of humor or a sense of humor at all. True or false?
Might be the case.
Okay,
but
why?
we could, well, I think maybe German humor is a bit special, maybe because sometimes, as I told in the beginning, they might be a bit sober, and so it might be the case. But of course, you cannot generalize.
Exactly, but I also think it's contextual, right? So the jokes in Germany, or the people that, understand those jokes, it's funny to them. Like in
That's
Pakistan,
true.
the jokes
Yeah.
that we
Exactly.
have here, maybe they're not funny to you.
I think every culture in every country, of course, has its own kind of humor. And
Yeah.
of course, we have jokes in Germany as well, and we
Yeah.
find them funny.
Okay.
But maybe you won't. So
Okay, so there are jokes in Germany, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, since Shizza's actually asked the question that whether they've got a good sense of humor or not,
You're going to ask for a joke?
and it came out to be as if that, yes, usually they do not have that sense of humor because we cannot understand those
Oh,
jokes.
yeah.
So I think I'm supposed to ask whether Germans are harsh or not. Yeah.
I think we can come across maybe sometimes as a little harsh, especially in the work environment, because
Yeah.
we do tend to be a bit serious.
Yeah.
But it's not meant in a harsh way.
Okay.
Okay.
But so you do have to be, especially when you work in Pakistan, you have to be careful not to be like too German.
We're so
especially at the
hospitable and
beginning.
welcoming.
I know, and we can learn so much from you.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Okay, so I think some, again, we can generalize, right?
Yeah.
So maybe some can be harsh. Again, if you cannot speak with them or have a good conversation with them, it's the language barrier.
No, I don't think like that. I think that it is the work. It is the work environment, ladies
Oh,
and gentlemen.
maybe.
Over here in Pakistan, we do get very unprofessional at times. We just do things which we are not supposed to do at workplaces as well. And I think that it's a great thing to be disciplined at workplace. If other than that, you're actually asking somebody a rude question, you're obviously going to expect a harsh reaction.
Oh, that's
I think
true.
that's what it is. Yes.
So
That's
yes, moving on to you, Dr. Saab. Germans are all about Oktoberfest. They're waiting for it all day, every day. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Is it true?
I would object. I've never been to
Oh,
Oktoberfest.
you haven't? Oh, that's first.
What about you? Have you been to Oktoberfest?
Well, I lived in Bavaria, so yeah, I was looking forward to October.
Okay, so this is true. It's not a myth, ladies and gentlemen. It is all about Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on, what are you going to ask her? Come on, you do
Okay,
that.
there are no speed limits in Germany.
That's not true at all.
Not true?
Germans are, I mean, as you said, they can be harsh, so they're very rule following. So they will follow speed limits, and there are speed limits everywhere.
And I'm going to share one amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that was that, right at the start of the show, I said that one of my friends flew from Germany to England and we met, and, so he was asking me that, okay, what are you driving back in Pakistan? So I recently purchased a heavy bike, sports bike, so I said that, I've got this sports bike and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you know what he did? So he went onto the internet, he took out the driving license test for sports bikes, and it had 1,200 multiple choice questions, and you cannot even make one mistake.
Wow.
Imagine this is how strict they are. I mean, how are people going to ride bikes over there? But people do, right?
Well, yeah, they do, of course. You have to.
Is it that strict?
It's a thorough examination.
It's you have to take theory lessons.
Yes.
You have to take practical lessons, of course, and in the end, you take a test both in theory and in practice. And it takes some time. I remember when I was 16, I also made my driver's license for a bike.
Yeah.
And it took me about maybe 3 or 4 months. And then in the end, I was allowed to write it. So
Wow.
Wow.
it's a strict regulation, and yeah, this
You
is.
know, I really like the fact that there are strict regulations, especially about these things. When this is so sensitive, I mean, it's not for you, but for all the people around you as well. When I'm not going to say it, you know, out loud, but there are some places where you can just probably pay and get a license. You know, tu mera dost hai yaar, license banwa de, or things like that. It does happen. It does happen. But on this note,
I
ladies and
gave a
gentlemen,
test, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, I successfully
I'm proud
did
of
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
very much.
for, you know, on
but
this
there are
note-
people, yeah.
Yes, on this note, ladies and gentlemen, we have a video to share which actually speaks about a similar message. Learn to live for others sometimes, not only for yourselves.
Let's do it
Let's
all
take a
the
look
time.
at this.
เขาจะได้อะไร ถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวัน เขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้น เพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้ คือได้แค่ความรู้สึก ได้เห็นความสุข ได้เข้าใจ ได้ความรัก ได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิม ในชีวิตคุณ อะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
I think it was a wonderful video to share, and everybody needs to play their part. Everybody needs to play their role in just letting people know that, you know, life is going to be good if you're going to be good to other people as well. And recently, Rawalpindi Chamber of Commerce actually has awarded PTV World with an award for
Yes.
their services
Services
to the community. And I think
In the presence of the Malaysian Prime Minister.
and
though.
yes, and Ms. Shizza actually got to host that event as well, and it's a wonderful achievement. A lot of people have been sending congratulations to RB as well. Thank you very much, Masood Beg Saab, that we've actually learned to evolve under your leadership, and it's great. And please make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you have a helping hand for the people who are out there.
Absolutely. You've sent to the world for some reason, for some purpose. Try to
Feels
look for
so
the
good.
purpose. Yeah, it feels so
Pious.
meaningful. But so while we were, you know, on a break before this, actually, we were talking about if actually these ladies over here know a bit of Urdu.
Yeah.
One of them actually does. We're going to ask her how, though. How much of Urdu do you know? And actually, you moved here last year, right?
Yeah, because it's
Yes.
not even a year and
Yeah,
you
it's not
already
even
know.
a year.
My Urdu is very, very basic.
Basic. It's okay.
So,
Go ahead.
I know some sentences. Mera naam Christine hai.
Very
Main
nice.
Germany
Brilliant.
se hoon.
Wow.
And that's about it. So I won't.
So,
I
but
won't
do
try
you
more.
understand some keywords? Maybe if we're speaking Urdu to each other, you can pick up what we're talking
it's
about.
Well, it's interesting that you use a lot of English words.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
So,
do. We're guilty.
So then, of course, you know approximately what you are talking about if you
Right.
hear some English
Yeah.
words, and but otherwise, of course, it's difficult to understand. So
You'll
I
get
should.
there, but
I
you're
should.
doing so good already.
Oh no, I should learn more vocabulary, and I think my Urdu teacher would like me to be more ambitious on that on that part. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying my best. But hopefully, I have 2 more years, so hopefully
nice.
I can learn
Most
something.
definitely.
more.
And
that's great.
speaking of Urdu teachers, sir, you were teaching Urdu to students over there in Germany. How was
Yes.
the experience? Are they good or fast learners?
Yeah, of course, they were fast learners.
Yeah.
Actually, we started the first program in 2014
Okay.
in the Department of Oriental Studies in the University of Leipzig. So first, actually, when we initiated that we are going to offer the Urdu language for non-native speakers or German speakers in
Yeah.
Germany. So I was discussing with my professor that we might not get the students. So we announced the program,
Okay.
and to our surprise, that the classroom was filled. There were
Wow.
around 50 students in the first session.
That's great.
Yeah, and it was the session of 4 months, of course, the first part, and then the second part, and again the fourth part, and they were very interested actually. Most of the students, they joined the program who were studying in the Indian, the studies. They were the student of
Okay.
Hindi department actually. They
And
were
they
also
wanted to
interested.
learn.
They were also interested. Some of them, they actually were planning to visit Pakistan, so that's why they were interested that we
Wow.
have to learn some basics of this language so we can use it when we are going to visit the Pakistan.
But Dr. Saab, that is the beauty of, I feel, globalization. I mean, you should at least know. Why are you laughing?
So it's funny, ladies and gentlemen. So what we do on the show is that we've got this amazing tradition of raising fingers whenever we have to
I'm
ask
so
a question.
sorry.
So I just kept on raising, and then she just kept on going. And I was like, okay, it
I
might
got
have been the
swept
other way
away.
around as well.
It's
But yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
Okay. So
Go
I was
ahead.
just saying, I think it's so important for everyone and nowadays to have at least, a grip over at least 3 languages. I mean, I know it's going to sound a little basic, but in the future, for my kids to be, inshallah, I'm going to make them,
Chinese.
when they're, Chinese not really
Chinese,
though,
okay.
but when they're young, I'm going to make them learn 5 languages. At least they're going to be like, oh, it's so annoying, but I'll be that mom, that annoying mom. But how many languages do you know?
I can speak German, English, Urdu. I can speak Sindhi, and I can understand
Nadu Sutwa,
Pashto.
sorry, Nadu Sutwa. Which is why I'm going to
Wow.
ask you one thing, and I want you to be a little elaborative on this. What do you think you going to a German school has actually given you in a way that Pakistani students will never ever experience?
A privilege, maybe?
I,
Any sort
I
of?
think it's like learning the language and the exposure and just being around a different education system because you get opportunities there that you don't get here. For example, in Germany, extracurricular is very important. Sports, swimming. I did swimming, I did sports, I did gymnastics and hip hop. Also, we had theater groups. In grade 3, we did a musical. Again, in grade 5, we did Alice in Wonderland. I was part of a choir. So it's a lot of extracurricular.
So
we
you
had
sing as well?
a little,
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
Somebody's going to be performing a test right now, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
no,
So can you please sing us a few lines,
Yeah,
whatever
come
you
on.
used to do in the choir.
I don't remember a lot of it, so
Well,
because I
whatever
was
you
very
remember,
young.
come on.
Anything.
Go ahead.
Anything?
Yes.
Yeah, literally anything. It can
so
be
there's-
English, Urdu, literally anything.
Oh,
So
German.
there is this movie. It's very popular among the children. Bibi and Tina.
Okay.
I can sing a few lines. But
ahead.
I'm not very good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come
it's
on,
all right.
we're
Imagine
worse, so
I
you're going to
can
be the
sing as
better
well.
one.
Yeah.
Fang einfach an, glaub nicht und dann, nur ist nur fun und du wirst schweben.
Wow. That's
Okay, what does
great.
that mean though?
It means like you shouldn't be afraid. You should take risks.
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
beautiful. And I'm so happy that you're actually taking this with you as
Yeah.
you're growing up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's meaningful.
And that's great, ladies and gentlemen. It just feels great to know people from other countries. And it is very famously said as well that, if you want to grow in life, make sure to be friends with people who do not speak the same language, who are actually not the same skin color, who actually do not belong to the same region. And you will see that you will prosper in different areas of life.
Absolutely.
Because there are people who've got so much to share. And, we, on the other hand, are so blindfolded by our own norms and cultures that
know.
we really do not look beyond the borders as well. And I think that it is important to learn these days. We are a global village, and we really need to be at par. And if there are countries, if there are people, if there are nations which need to come closer for our betterment, I think that we really need to let them be on that avenue where they're actually going to be right next to us. And this is how you develop. I think that's what it is.
Right.
So before we wrap up this segment, anything you want to share, please go ahead. Anything you want to talk about.
A message or anything. Yeah.
I would say that I think this cultural exchange is important. So Pakistanis, Germans maybe playing music together or exchanging their experiences on different cultural topics. So, for example, we had a German theater from Brecht, maybe you know, a German playwright, and this was staged here by a Pakistani group. So I think these kind of cultural exchanges really enrich your experiences and also broaden your horizon.
Wow, amazing that is. What about you, Mr.
Yeah, it's. I think what I noticed here, like when I travel in Pakistan, luckily I get to travel a lot for work, and you meet Pakistanis, they are so interested in German culture and about life outside of Pakistan. And I think it's such an asset that you're like interested in different things and want to learn.
That's
so
great. Which is why, Dr. Saab, I'm actually going to ask you, what do you think Pakistan can offer to Germany? Oh, it's a difficult one at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for this one, yes.
Okay, let's
change the question. What do you have to say, Dr. Saab?
I think there are a lot of things that we can exchange with Germany and Pakistan. Of course, the many things that we can especially offer the different sides of our culture. That you know, in the previous time there was like joint family system. They used to have joint family system in Germany. Previous time, as my professor told me that you know many years ago, before the World War and so such things, they used to have such system. And still they have, and we also have such system. Currently, we are practicing it. So of course, there are a lot of things that we can give and take from each other.
Of course, it's
and I think a lot of people from the automobile industry can actually go and get trainings from there as well, because there's only one difficulty in my life over here in Pakistan, and that is that, you know, unfortunately there are not many people who actually know about German cars, quite a lot of in Pakistan. So the after service is quite a lot of headache.
Hassle, right?
It's a hassle, and you really need to go to the right people. So if there are people who are listening out there, if you want to do something in life and you're already into that industry, please make sure to learn about those cars, because those are the best cars they produce.
Absolutely. What about you, Maruk? And any message to all the youth out there?
I think it's very important to learn many different languages, and German is really a part of that. And also what we can adopt is extracurriculars in Pakistan and just the active learning in Pakistani schools. That's really important.
So true.
It is great. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you and to share your experiences of what's going to actually happen in the next quite a lot of years, ladies and gentlemen, over here. Quite a lot of developmental projects. We're happy about Volkswagen. We might not have a lot of cultural similarities, but then I think at the same time, what we do have in common is respect for each other's culture. And I think that this is something which is very imperative.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you need to write to us, please write on our Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning.
On Twitter.
World This Morning without a G.
Daily Motion on YouTube.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat you can catch at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. So the next time, 1, 2, 3, Guten
Morgen.
Thank you very much.